Massive game this week. Now, I do feel like Daddy is back, meaning me. I'm coming for these pick'ems, okay? A lot of what we've been saying has been coming to fruition. I don't know if Saban's going to walk out of the month of September without two losses. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm starting to really believe that. I think that this game is going to be adding to the snowball. It is terrible timing for them to trying to be figuring things out, figuring out their quarterback situation, for them to face off with a quality Ole Miss team. I don't know if Ole Miss is as scary of an opponent as some believe that they are, but I can tell you right now that they have their crap together a lot better than Alabama. One big reason why I am wary about what happens for Alabama, separate from all of the crap going on with the quarterback position, did you know that they're 123rd in the country in sacks allowed? They've given up 12 sacks, and in that time, they've played Middle Tennessee State and South Florida. Some of that blame could go on the quarterback position for holding the ball too long, but right now, that offensive line that was supposed to be so good is struggling to protect quarterbacks, and they don't have guys who can deliver the ball. The way that I see this is that even if Ole Miss isn't at full efficiency, maybe that they have some struggles in this game, I don't see a path for Alabama to come out victorious. I just don't. They've had too many problems offensively for them to find a way to beat Ole Miss.
So I agree. And look, here's the thing, though, for me, Joe. Let me not go completely and hammer them because of this reason. Alabama's, like, the players that they do have, they're not scrubs. They're just not playing to their potential, right? Yep. Like the left tackle, what's his name? The kid from Iowa, Proctor.
Caden Proctor, yeah.
What if the light turns on for him? You know,
and
like
there's recoverability for him.
And Latham. If the light starts turning up for those guys up front, it can start turning a tide for Alabama, pun intended. Now, here's the thing. It's time for Tommy Rees to put up or shut up.
Yeah.
Like, it is time for you to put up or shut up. I don't want to see the game plan that I saw against Texas. Now, I'm going to give Tommy Rees a little wiggle room here. And I'm just going to be real with you. If you think that Tommy Rees isn't running a Nick Saban game plan, then you're an idiot. Okay? Like, Nick does not allow I let my coaches coach. No, you don't. You let Lane do it. You let Bill O'Brien do it for a little bit. And then when things got tight, you started not calling the plays, but telling him what he needed to do. Bottom line is, they got to come up with a good enough game plan for Jalen Milroe to run that rock. Joe, if I'm Alabama and if I'm an Alabama fan, you're about to call me insane. You're about to call me stupid. I don't want to walk out of Bryant-Denny Stadium and Jalen Milroe not have 20 rushes. Don't let it happen, because you got to start getting some confidence with this O-line and himself. Now, maybe 20 is the outright max, and I get that. And God forbid if he got hurt in this game, they're in real doo-doo.
Yes.
You don't have a choice. He's got to be Superman. He's got to get in that phone booth, Clark Kent, and put on the Superman cape like Cam Newton did in that same state so many years ago. Give him 20 rushes and say F it, because you got to get this thing rolling. Number two, with all that being said and them having the blue chip athletes, Joe, what if I told you too, Nick Saban, his two highest rated recruiting classes are on campus right now. So of all the great recruiting classes that he's ever had, the two best recruiting classes that they are on campus right now. The bottom line becomes, they have dudes. Are they going to play to their potential? I don't know if they can score enough. And that's why I'm going to take Ole Miss in this one. Joe, on the way to church on Sunday, got $100 in my pocket. And I give 80 to the Lord Jesus. And I put 20 on Bet Online and sprinkled that baby on Ole Miss, because the Rebels are coming into T-Town and taking one.
I think you bring up a really good point here with Jalen Milroe. Their offense has been it's been inept. It's been incapable of anything. And as much as we want to, what I found really weird is that there were some Alabama fans I've noticed that are apologizing for Tommy Rees, which is odd. The quarterback play hasn't been stellar, but I would argue that there's still talent at the position, and to not properly set those guys up for success, that goes on the head of the man calling the plays. And I think against Texas, they got too goddamn cute. You have one of the best athletes in the country playing quarterback for you right now. Jalen Milroe is an extremely good athlete for a quarterback. There are not a lot of guys that can move the way that he can playing that position. I completely agree with your point. You got to run the ball 25 times with him, 25 times. And I know that sounds insane. I know that there might be some Alabama fans who get upset by that notion, but you have that ability to run all over an opposing defense. And you're not using
Ole Miss. Look what Tulane did. If Tulane can open up holes, Joe, there's an avenue for them. They got to run that rock, buddy. They got to run the rock.
And if you're struggling this much to protect quarterbacks and your offensive line, their offensive line hasn't been bad against when blocking on rushing plays. It really hasn't been that bad.
USF says hi.
It hasn't been as bad as they are trying to protect on passing plays, is my point.
Agreed.
Do what's working. Stop being stupid about this. But I'm in the same boat, I think, about the whole analysis of this. I really think that Ole Miss has momentum. Lane is finally going to get one off of Saban. I do have a really insane theory that I just want to throw out there for this game. I actually do think that this is worth considering. That Jalen Milroe was deliberately benched ahead of South Florida. Suspended. I know that that's something that was put out there.
It's not speculation.
So he was suspended.
I mean, the chatter coming out of there, yeah, I mean, it's pretty undeniable.
My theory was that Jalen Milroe was deliberately benched, and they knew that they could still win with the other two guys in at quarterback and figure out who's the better backup so that they could mess with Lane Kiffin, so that they could get him to prepare for all three of them.
No, you had me until the very end. Okay. You know, you just Game of Thrones me. That's what you did. You Game of Thrones me. You know, the theory of you kept me all the way to the very end, and then you just laid a dud. I agree with everything you just said. And then to your point, Lane comes out and says, hey, I know who's really calling the plays. Now, listen.
Right. That's part of why I'm saying
Pete Golding doesn't have friends still on that staff that he's not talking to. You're crazy.
Right.
I don't know if Kevin Steele's calling plays. That's another topic for probably another day. But I don't believe that. Let me tell you why. I think Nick was thinking to himself, listen, I do think that Jalen Milroe's the best quarterback that I have, but what if one of these two guys can come out here and really start throwing the football and really start moving it? Let's see what we have and give them a whole game doing it. Let me leak this out here. Let me leak this out here to say that Jalen Milroe is suspended, and that way nobody questions it in the end. Lane doesn't need – Lane's got Pete Golding on the staff. If there's anyone that knows about Jalen Milroe's talents, Jalen Milroe was running scout team a year ago, right? Before the A&M game. So, no, I was with you until the end.
I did say it was half-baked. I did say it was a bit of a crazy theory.
I mean, you're already half-baked Mad Dog Jersey edition.
All right.
Hey, do you know Mike the Situation?
I don't. I don't know every Italian guy from New Jersey. I don't.
Oh, well.
That's South Jersey. That's not really New Jersey. That's Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, yeah, I can see that. Uh-huh. I think Ole Miss can come out with this game. Let me throw another theory at you. What happens if Saban's 2-2 in September? What is college football going to do if they lose? Because we know what's going to happen, Joe, if they win. If they win, we never should have questioned Saban. They were working things out, yada, 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 yada. You know that's coming.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie. I will have a small inkling of feeling like, okay, maybe he's figured this out. But man, if Lane can come away and Ole Miss can come away with this win, there's going to be so much firing at Saban that it's going to be astronomical. It's going to turn the sport upside down. Joe, the sport's kind of already turned upside down because everybody thinks that there's parity. Like, let me give you this theory or this thought. Everybody thinks that there's parity right now in college football. Okay, well, the only reason you're really saying that is because Saban doesn't look that good.
Yes.
Right? Because here's the truth. There's probably 200 teams in America right now that if they lined up against Georgia on a neutral field, they're going to get their asses kicked.